Counterclockwise A Perm. I executed from a couple of angles. Usually recognized based on the headlights. It's my favorite angle for it. Another good angle of clockwise A-perm. The block on the front left. This is kind of the one that most people learn first. Here I'm using the right ring middle double flick, but it's also really good to use left finger twice. Avoids the regrip that they have if I use the right double flick thing. And the last angle I really use clockwise A-perm for. If I get it no AUF with the block in front right, headlights on left. I like to use this J-perm alg. It's a regular J-perm but with two wide R turns. So it's the normal J-perm setup, but then wide R, and then wide R on the sledge. It's not quite as fast as a J-perm for me. The wide turn gives me a little bit of regrip, which I don't have normally. But it's still pretty good, and it beats, a rotation or AUF, and then a rotation, and then AUF, which ends up on front if you do an X prime for the A-perm. So yeah, I prefer that sometimes. And the counterclockwise A-perm, another one of my favorite angles for it. It's just the basic 9-move commutator, which most people use. I used to do it with the right ring double flick thing too, but it gives me 2 regrips. It's not terrible, either work, but I'm trying to force myself to use the left ring twice, because it avoids the regrip. Not very good at it yet, but Brendan does it amazingly, so I'm assuming practice will make perfect. Alright, an E-perm. I use the normal 16 move, 2 corner commutator alg that Ro Hessler popularized a little while ago. It's all R, U, and D moves, which took me a while to get used to. I wasn't very good at doing the left ring finger push, but with a decent amount of practice I realized that it has a lot of potential. I'm not that fast at it. I can do it low 1 second, like 1.1 or so, but if you want to see someone do it really well with just incredible speed, Morten Arborg has like 0.72 seconds on cam, something stupid like that. Anyway, here's how I execute it. It's pretty much standard execution. Use my left ring finger for the D moves. As for recognition, I pretty much recognize it by the fact that it doesn't look much like anything else. There's no bars, no headlights. There's also no opposite stickers touching each other going around the cube, like there's blue-red or green-red, but there's never blue and green next to each other or red and orange next to each other. So it's one way to recognize it, but really I just pretty much realized that if you look at two faces, there's no bars, no headlights, and it doesn't really follow a pattern like Y-perm or V-perm might, so it's not too hard to discern once you get used to it. I also use, I used to use an RU alg for it before I could get good at the RUD version. It's okay for one hand if you have trouble with the D moves one hand like I do. I do it from the other angle too, with the swapping corners on front and back versus left and right. It goes like this. It's really easy to remember. It's just R2U, R prime, and a Y, and then 3 sexes. And then undo that setup. So it's not bad. I guess if you have a lot of trouble with the RUD version, it's not a bad owl to know. And for one hand, it has some potential because you can avoid the X rotation and D moves.